What's up, everybody? Y'all are now in the Kush Den with your boy Ed Honcho and
Shaq Kush, baby.
word on the street is Shaq Kush don't make free throws. Is this true? Is this true? Shaq Kush can't make free throws. Is this true?
I think so. If I miss a free throw, I feel like Eric up here.
Oh, that's awful. But okay, y'all already see it. Y'all can see what it is. What it is. You know, we in the Kush Den. You know, we what we got going on. You know me, Ed Honcho. If you check out me in the sports I do, I'm definitely a homer. You know, Mr. Shaq Kush is a little bit more diverse than I am, but I have no shame in being a homer. But man, we're talking about one of the H-Town greats. We're talking about up there with Earl. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about up there with Olajuwon. You know. We talking about Moon. We talking about up there. We talking about one of the H-Town greats, a legend who should have been much more of a legend, but fuck Kubiak. But we'll talk about that later. Mister Mighty Punch himself, Andre motherfucking Johnson. Make sure you say the motherfucker. Andre motherfucking Johnson, Team 80, gonna retire a Texan. And, you know, I just thought, you know, we could recap some of the great things that Andre did for this franchise. You know, I thought we could just take a little bit of time to talk about it, man. Andre is still, I don't care what anybody says, my favorite Texan. When Watt came, all these bandwagons, oh, J.J. Watt, the same motherfuckers who booed him when he got picked.
They picked Watt when he got drafted.
Same motherfuckers that booed him. Now,
What? Who is it?
yeah, man, I remember seeing the pictures. I remember when I saw it, I looked at it because I seen the little clips that they showed, and you know, like I said, I used to play defense, so I'm watching his technique, and I'm like, damn, he's got some good technique. He's powerful. So I was like, it might not be a bad pick. I didn't think it would be as good as he was, or as he is now, or he might have been.
Who he was at the time, I didn't boo him.
Yeah, didn't boo it. Definitely, like I said, you got to make educated decisions. So, like I said, all those people who booed him are eating crow now. They probably won't admit that shit. But fuck him. We're talking about Andre Johnson. You know, not fuck J.J. Watt, but fuck him for right now because we're talking about Andre the Great Johnson. Andre the Giant, if you will.
From Miami Hurricane.
The Titan Killer, if you will. Man, Andre, I mean, let's just talk about Andre. I mean, that's all we can do is just, you know, talk about the great things he did for the Texans. You know, people talk about, well, what was the greatest Andre Johnson play? Definitely to me, hands down, and I've been saying it not just because it's coming back up, but I've been saying it for a long, long time because I've never seen anybody else do that, was that play he made against Arizona where he basically took out 3 motherfuckers on his way to the end zone. Like in a very dominant fashion. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's personally my favorite play personally. What would your favorite Andre Johnson play be, Mr. Cushington?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite play, but I used to like to see him do Peterson bad.
Yeah, he did.
All around guy, but I just like Andre, you know, he was real cool, calm. You know, you never really see him in the media except when he whooped Courtney Finnegan's ass.
Yeah, that's the only time I can see. Never saw him in.
He wasn't really vocal, you know, he would stop there and he did a job.
Yeah, absolutely. Came to work, did his job. Real blue collar guy. That's what you like about him. Workhorse. He got out there. He put in the work. You know,
a lot of players in the league would have not put up what he put up with.
Oh no, hell no. See, and I'll be honest with you, as a Texans fan, and more so almost an Andre Johnson fan, man, it was at one point where I wanted to see him go because I wanted him to have, you know, the chance to get a ring. I wanted him to have a chance to actually play with a quarterback, you know, who could complement his skill set. You know, just diversity. We're going to digress a little bit. you know, everybody's talking about right now. You know, of course, as a Texan, he's the greatest right now. Definitely, you know, but it's hard to determine whether or not he's a Hall of Fame candidate, and that's what most people, you know, are discussing because I don't think he ever had a double-digit year of touchdowns. And it sucks because, like I said, I'm not a stat guy because stats don't work in football. Stats don't really work. They work kind of in basketball, those advanced analytics. But stats don't really tell the story of a game. And that's what most people say, oh, he put up so many stats and he did this, he did that. Now, there's a lot of key factors that go into how he was able to put up stats or how people were able to put up stats and things. And my thing with Andre was that he succeeded in spite of everything around him. I mean, the team that it was time that remember I don't know right around that playoff time, right before we had our offense was just awful. The defense was balling, the offense couldn't do shit. But Andre still would show up, put up his numbers, do his thing. But then you had guys who couldn't get the ball. Then, like I say, being a part of that Kubiak scheme, I think also fucked him over because Kubiak never fucking threw the football in the red zone. You know, you got possibly one of the greatest receivers, in my opinion, he could have been the greatest receiver of all time had he had a decent quarterback. He had 2 or 3 good years out of Schaub, you know, and that was it. He never really had a chance with, you know, Carr because, you know, the line and then things like that. I mean, he put up his number, he did what he did, but he never really had somebody back there that could just deliver him the ball the way he needed it. How many times do you remember him having to come back, you know, after beating somebody deep on a shot pass, or him having to slow up his route or fall back, come back to catch a pass and then getting, you know, sucked up, well, get caught up, not to be able to use that other term, but get caught by a defender because he has to slow up to come in and catch a pass because the motherfuckers can't put it where, you know, where it needs to be. So it's a lot of things that hindered Andre Johnson from being great because look at, you know, you want to say, well, Jerry Rice and all the look at the greats. They all played with amazing quarterbacks. They had a Hall of Fame quarterback behind them at some point in time. Every single one of them. Andre Johnson never had that and was still able to put up numbers. Never had it. And so, yeah, he made a pro, but he's not a Hall of Fame. I'm talking about all the guys that you would say were better, all had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Jerry Rice. Who did Jerry Rice have?
Joe Montana.
Exactly. Think about T.O. Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these motherfuckers had, like, the greats had great quarterbacks throwing them the ball. Andre Johnson never had that. And still, not even close. And still, and that's what I'm saying, still. So imagine if he would have had, imagine Andre would have had the likes of somebody like a Roethlisberger or I couldn't even imagine him playing with Tom Brady. That'd be unfair.
A halfway decent quarterback like Calvin Johnson had with Stafford.
With Stafford, that's what I'm saying. He was Calvin Johnson before Calvin Johnson was Calvin Johnson, dog. Like, you know, he was the man. He did it all. But like I say, he just never had the tools around him. He could have been the greatest because there was a couple of years he put up better than Jerry Rice numbers with Matt Schaub at the helm.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Huh?
I don't care anybody say he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, hands down. I say he's a Hall of Famer because, like I say, you know, you got to look at all those other guys. Like I say, look at who else? You know, like I say, the real greats. T.O. played with a couple of real good guys. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he definitely played with some quality talent because he played for a bunch of different teams. Like I say, just think.
Over there was it's Young. Steve Young. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Steve Young.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, he's played, and I'm just trying to think of, you know, a few people that you want to put, like, say those top 5 type receivers, because I think Andre Johnson. I mean, like I say, I honestly think that he did what those guys did, you know, like I say, in spite of everything around him. He had a coach that didn't want to throw touchdowns. He had a coach that wanted to run the ball all game, even though when he would set those plays up and get them in position, and instead of getting rewarded with the fucking touchdown, you run the ball fucking 4 times in the fucking red zone and then, or run it 3 times, get stopped and kick a fucking field goal. You know, some dumb shit like that when, you know, you've repeatedly seen this guy, you know, make light of the best defenders in the league. You know what I mean? When defenses have to adjust to pay special attention just to this one guy. You know, there's nobody else on your team. You have no – only other time the second best receiver he had when he was, you know, really balling was Kevin Walter.
Yeah, that's true.
Kevin Walter. And not to knock Kevin Walter, but everybody knows Kevin Walter. No, Kevin Walter wasn't known for being a receiver. I mean, for catching. Now, he could catch. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Walter was cold. Kevin Walter was really good. But everybody called Kevin Walter a blocking receiver. That's just what they thought of him as. He got out there and he worked hard. He opened up holes. He blocked the fucking ass off, and you know, and he made plays every now and then. But it was a play Kevin Walter made. I want to say it was one major play he made. I want to say it was against the Bengals one year. I got to think about it. But like I said, we're talking about Johnson today. But like I say, man, I think Johnson it's unfortunate. It's fortunate for me because I'm a fan. I'm a Texans fan, but it's unfortunate that he had a career with the Texans and that he was so loyal like he was. When he did that contract, he should have bounced, man, and had a chance to go play with a real quarterback. Because a piece like him, he's the type of guy that changes the whole dynamic of a team. When he was in his prime, he would have made somebody who was on the brink of being a contender a fucking champion, because that's that element. But when he was with the Texans, he was the entire fucking offense for a while. That was it. And then, you had Arian come along for a couple of years and, do his thing. But like I say, I think Arian was more so a product of Kubiak's offense. Like, I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking his skill set. You have to have the talent to be able to do it and to be put in those positions. And he had great vision and things, but I think he benefited greatly from that was a year like every one of our line was a fucking Pro Bowler. And, he benefited from them Pro Bowl lines because, as you saw, like when we started losing, every year we would lose like a piece of that Pro Bowl line, his numbers declined. So Arian got to benefit from a stellar offensive line, a system that suited him well, and a solid skill set. But I think a lot of backs could have thrived in the same scheme with those pieces around it. But like I say, Andre, he did it when there was no other option. You know what I'm saying? We were talking with the Slaytons and stuff like that, and the Greens, and then these guys that you were playing with. When the Texas was still pretty much an expansion team.
Only 15 years old.
Yeah, and even that's significant, but still. And then you got to look at it too, because people, their expansion team, well, the Panthers did it, and the Jags too. But what people don't realize is that the rules changed whenever the Texans became an expansion team. So the way we were structured was much different. That's why it took so much longer for us to develop. Unlike those other teams who, within a few years, were making playoff runs, were making deep playoff runs and things like that. But like I say, that format definitely hindered us, and as you see, haven't been another team come in since. I don't know if the league could suit another team, maybe not. But anyway, like I say, man, Andre was he was great, and like I said, I'm glad he's retiring a Texan. But there was no other choice but for him to retire a Texan. It would have been ridiculous, for him to do anything else, because he didn't really do anything elsewhere that was so significant for him to,
Yeah, the Texan. That man is Texas based. Still represents for Texas people. Yeah. He still shows love during Christmas for Texas. I mean, he's H-Town.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely would agree with that.
Definitely one of the greatest players on the Texas team so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's going to go down as a great no matter what. So, I mean, you're going to be hard-pressed. DeAndre.
Nobody else is going to wear that number 80 jersey.
Oh, no. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely not. You better close that right now. But like I say, I think Hopkins, if he sticks around, he might do something. I just don't know if Hopkins is going to stick around because, like I say, this is something I've been telling people for a couple of years too. Like right now, they still fucking around and fucking him over with, talking about a deal and shit like that. And what I know they're going to try to do is probably try to use his numbers last year as leverage against him. But if I was out and say, hey, that's y'all's fucking fault. Y'all gave me that fucking piece of trash at quarterback, and it affected my numbers. So he's not going to want to work a fucking deal with the bullshit that they're going to try to give him because, like I say, Rick Smith I think he's a shyster. I don't think he's a good GM. They had a thing come out the other day talking about Rick Smith was a top 10 GM. Fuck no. Absolutely not. He's a bottom-of-the-barrel GM. He gets lucky on, first-round picks, some solid second-rounders, but after that he's not good. Value in the draft, you build teams from that 4th and 7th round. That's where you go find that value. That's where you find the motherfuckers that build that foundation. And he hasn't been successful at doing that. He's horrible when it comes, past the 3rd round. He's awful. So I don't see that, maybe because he was fortunate to be in a situation to make the Brock Osweiler move that made him something, but I think not. I think, like I say, he must know something about Bob McNair that most people don't because I don't see how he still has a job. But if they don't get that deal done with DeAndre, they may try to franchise him and do some shit like that in the future. But I honestly see DeAndre wanting to bounce because if I was Andre Johnson and, you go back and look back on your career and you could have been like, man, I could have, should have done this. I could have, would have, should have done this. But I didn't. Okay, well, now you're mentoring, the next guy, the next man up. Shit, you're going to pass that advice along. Hey, man, it's a business. first and foremost. They're going to get what they want out of you. Make sure you get what you can get out of it. And, you know, you want to have a career. You want to have if they're not going to bring you to pieces, they're not going to bring you what you need to succeed for you to be able to maximize your skill set, bounce. Because I guarantee you this. If DeAndre Hopkins goes on the free agent market, every single team in the NFL will find a way to try to make room to get him in. There's not a single team who says that they wouldn't. This is a fact. So the Texans better get their shit together. Because like I said, I'm already upset after the Bouye bouncing. You know, you got to do something. Here's my thing. If you can't keep DeAndre, Rick Smith has to go. Like, he has to go. And I know I don't understand.
I gotta catch y'all. This ain't about DeAndre. We talking about Andre.
Yeah, we are talking about Andre. But what I'm saying is Andre was a victim of Rick Smith. So when we were talking about the future here of the Texans and what Andre may have left within his legacy and the information that he passed on to current Texans. And the current Texans that we have, like I say, the most prominent one is DeAndre. So he's Andre Jr. And I would hate to see him fall into the same situation because I like DeAndre a lot. He's also not a real – he talk a little shit. I like that he talks shit, but he backs it up. But he's not a real in the media trying to do too much type of dude. I'm not sure about his fashion sense and shit, but that's a whole other thing. That's not what we're here to judge. But you're right. We're talking about Andre, so let's get back to it. Like I say, man, I'm just really happy that, you know, he's retiring the Texans. It's really cool. He put in a lot of work for us, and as a Texans fan, you know, you hate to see him leave the game, but – you appreciate everything that he did for this team and that he brought to this team, and you know, you just like I say, you just hate to see a guy like that walk away, especially without getting a ring. What's the question?
Here's a real live question. He does a lot for the community. He's one of the greatest receivers we got out here so far.
Yeah.
So why don't we have a Dre Day?
We should have a Dre Day. I think, you know, Houston has always been known for giving people days. You got 2 or 3 rappers have days. Slim Thug got a day. You know, Trey got a day. I'm not saying Andre Johnson's a rapper, but, you know, rapper, athlete, people who do good for the community, you know, celebrities or, you know, prominent members of society. Houston tends to reward that, I guess, as a thing. Or I don't know. I don't know how that goes, but I think it should definitely be a Dre Day. And I think that at the beginning of every Dre Day, they should play They Forgot About Dre. And that's my celebration idea. So if anybody takes this and runs with it, matter of fact, whatever the day is, if it's today that he's getting you know, officially retiring, then this date itself should be Dre Day. You know?
Dre Day.
Okay. All right, well, it's Dre Day then. All right, they forgot about Dre. But like I said, man, you know, like I said, we just wanted to do a little something, just cover a few little things, just kind of in remembrance of Mr. Andre Johnson. Not that he's dead or anything like that. And we just want to talk about Andre and you know, what's going on here down in you know, Houston, Texas, man. You know, congratulations, I guess you want to say, or I don't know what you tell somebody who retired. Congratulations, you did a bunch of shit. You're old now and you're done. I don't know how that works, but.
And I say, hey, Andre, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you going out there balling. It was wonderful watching you play the game. I watched you when you played for Miami. You did your thing out there. Thank you for whooping Cortland Finnegan's ass.
Yes. He beat Cortland Finnegan's ass.
He definitely beat Cortland Finnegan's ass.
As they like to say on the internets, on the interwebs, he beat up Cortland Finnegan because he knocked the F out of him. Jokes. Anyway, folks, it's Dre Day. A little bit of honor of Dre video today. You know, Shaq Kush, you got anything you wanna say to people before we get up out of here?
Yeah, once again, know what I'm saying, number 80 all day long on Andre Johnson. That boy Martin Himpson is doing his thing right now. He'll be with us later on today. You know what I'm saying? I do hit free throws all day long.
I cannot confirm that.
Today's Dre Day and tomorrow is that nothing but smash smoking tonight. You know what I'm saying?
That the Shaq Kush holiday.
The Shaq Kush holiday.
Yes. Understood. Well,
Kush holiday. We all Kush holiday.
well. With that being said, everybody, you know who I am. I'm Mr. Ed Honcho. You see it right there, the real Ed Honcho. Instagram, Twitter. Give your boy a follow, a like. You know, subscribe to the channel, Kush Den. You know, we're gonna keep the sports, keep it active. Talking Texans. You know, talking sports, talking NBA later. You know, we're gonna have that MVP discussion. We got the Rockets and Thunder coming up later, so we're gonna chop that up. So like I say, man, give it a like the channel, you know, tune in. We're gonna keep it coming fresh, we're gonna keep it original, very opinionated. And you know what deuce up means. Deuce up means I'm Ed Honcho, and I'm out. Now I'm out.